Porsche.
Where's the home for race?
Where?
Home Hardware.
Where's the home for timber?
Where's the home for screws?
Where's the home to go to?
When you got those hardware blues.
Where?
Home Hardware.
It is a sellout crowd at the Loftus Road Ground in London, just under 20,000 in, as you see the Kangaroos and the Kiwis make their way onto the field. This is the 90th Test clash between the two countries. Australia holding a commanding lead. A good crowd in, 16 degrees or so. Saturday evening in London. There is a chance of rain, which would make it very similar conditions to what we saw in Auckland last weekend. Leslie Vainakalo, the Volcano, comes in on the flank for the New Zealand side. Very big outfit and a job to be done for them. Russell Smith again the referee as we go through the Australian team. Minicello, Rooney, Berrigan, Tonga, Singh, Lockyer and Gower. That is the back line. Darren Lockyer, the captain, 5'8".
In London. Great Britain will be watching this closely, of course. They're on a warm weather camp and they will be very interested to see how this match goes because, of course, Great Britain enter the fray 7 days hence against the Australians at the City of Manchester Stadium. British representative in the shape of referee Russell Smith. But first we have the haka, led by Ruben Wiki. Fantastic.
Great atmosphere, isn't it? Really does warm you up when you see that. Fantastic, wasn't it? And you know, Eddie, a lot of people don't realise that Australia...
1997, 22 Origin games as Queensland coach. He's won 5 series. It's not a bad CV, Steve-O.
Oh, he's a great coach, no doubt about that, and he's one heck of a nice fella too.
Deep kick-off from the Kiwis, and underneath it was Lockyer, and here is Webke again.
It didn't surprise me, Eddie, that they went for the 2 points on offer. It's just a little bit of a comfort blanket that they were looking for. Oh!
Kalis, that was Jason Kalis in very strongly, the third man in, as Riles drove that forward. This is Tony Carroll for the Australians.
The one thing that worries me at the moment, the Kiwis spending a lot of energy. They're having to get through a lot of tackles, and the Australians, the way they're running with the football, they're attracting not just one would-be tackler, but sometimes 3 and often 4.
Great kick from Darren Lockyer, and that will have to be run back by Francis Melly. And a great chase from Australia as well, penned inside his own 10-metre zone. Well, they are certainly at the pace of the match now, Australia, after maybe taking an early sucker punch, but here they've conceded the penalty.
Just a little bit too much there from the prop forward Shane Webke and Danny Badiris, just laying all over him. Made it quite clear though, as Russell Smith, they want a clean play of the ball, and rightly so. I mean, the talent that's out there, Eddie, we are in for one heck of a game.
Well, it's going to be a magnificent series, this. And when Great Britain enter the fray next week, who knows what might happen. Wiki, the Kiwis captain, almost to the halfway line. And Luluai gets the ball wide, and he finds Sonny Bill Williams, who finds Melly over on that far side. Melly keeps the ball wide brilliantly. Vanganar into Brent Webb.
Forward a mile. Just overrun it there, did Jason Kalis, but they've got away with it.
Here's Luluai again. Good ball, was it? Well, it was turned inside by Nicolo. He knew, well, Logan Swan was going to pop that, possibly, being a Bradford teammate. There is Logan Swan, and he now is Luluai. And Luluai then to Webb. And Webb dancing in front of the defenders, but eventually being dropped to the ground by Sean Timmins on as a substitute. Anderson, Luluai stabbed the kick in behind the defence. Minicello is there to tidy up for Australia.
Great position. Nice little option, though, by the New Zealanders. Just dinked the ball into that corner, but he does read it so well, does Anthony Minicello. Good work from the first.
Willie Tonga to go.
Yeah, but good work from the first and second marker. It's that's where you really put the pressure on.
Tony Carroll. He will play the ball, and Berrigan will run it from dummy half. Good defence from New Zealand there. 17 metres gained by the Kangaroos, that's all. And here is Gower. Good deep kick from Gower. This could be a 40-20 if it skips. But it doesn't. It's picked up by Brent Webb. Let's go to the sideline injury news. Chris Warren.
Not good news for the Kangaroos. Craig Fitzgibbon, you saw him come off there holding his shoulder. It's the same shoulder, I understand, as last week. It's an AC joint. It ruled him out of the first Tri-Nations match. They said he may be back.
Well, let's get straight back down to the sideline because Ian Millwood is watching down there. Ian, your impressions of the opening 17 minutes?
Well, the first thing you do, Eddie, when it's a wet, windy night is think of the kicking game. And if you look at the composure and the sort of more pressure in the kicking game from Gower and Lockyer, there's a lot more than the inexperienced Lululai. He's only new to the NRL and definitely new to Test Rugby League. The other thing, too, which is noticeable, Eddie, is the experienced positions when it's wet. The hooker, the halfback and the 5'8". Australia got abundance of NRL rings, State of Origin and premierships there, and Australian caps. New Zealand very inexperienced, and this has been why they've been dominant early Australia in those two key areas.
There might be inexperience in the New Zealand ranks, but we just saw another little flash from Sonny Boy Williams, and what a talent this 19-year-old is.
Short, and he said it was slowing him down.
And Kidwell, little half break. Last tackle here for New Zealand. It's with Luluai, and now Webb. And the kick from Webb, but not a good one. Straight into the arms of Anthony Minicello. Ian Millwood.
Yeah, Eddie, at the moment it's interesting to see some people need to be replaced because they're coming off a little mini off-season. A couple of players have had a run up Papua New Guinea. A couple of New Zealanders had a run last week and their teams were knocked out of the semis early, and injuries and conditioning are going to play a little bit of a part here. But New Zealand are hanging in there at the moment, but gee, it's great to see some of these hits, isn't it? People getting off their line and really putting some shoulder contact. The crowd are loving it. Everyone's loving it here. It's excellent.
It is excellent. It's a terrific contest. 8-4 so far. Australia just with their noses in front. Gower to Lockyer. Lockyer looks for the runners. It's Minicello. Great ball back on the inside to Berrigan. He's clawed down by Logan Swan. Last tackle here for Australia. Minicello, Lockyer, Sivanasiva, Gower, a fumble.
He tried to offload. He tried to offload because the pressure was being applied. Good work by New Zealand. The first reason why they had to keep the ball alive was the fact they just hunted down Darren Lockyer, who's normally the kicker on the Australian side. Well, they're not out of this, the Kiwis. They haven't had many opportunities down the Australian end.
No, they've only had really one clear-cut opportunity, and they took that. This is Logan Swan. And a couple of half chances, a couple of kicks, but nothing coming of it. This is Fatuira.
Get up in behind the line.
And absolutely dead level, possession inside each other's half. Luluai hands the ball on to Kidwell. That was a short ball and a risky pass, and the Australians were waiting.
Quicker!
There's nowhere there for Asatazi to go, and the kick down the line will find touch.
Well, a better serve by doing that. Instead of putting it straight down the throat of Anthony Minicello, you may as well force him back. Slippy conditions out there, anything can happen.
And Fitzgibbon waiting to come back on the field. But there's the fellow who's taken the eye, Sonny Bill Williams.
He's all talent.
And Robbie Paul is on for the Kiwis now.
Got a good mood by Daniel Anderson as well, because he knows the experience of Robbie Paul will certainly help influence the younger players on the Kiwi outfit.
And he's good enough for Bradford Bulls, but when he gets this black and white jersey on for the Kiwis, Steve-O, he grows, his chest puffs out.
They're all the same, Eddie. You could put a 3-year-old kid out there with a New Zealand jumper and any international jumper, Australia and Great Britain, you name it. They will fight, and so they should.
Sivanasiva for Australia. Robbie Paul with the tackle. And you can see the way that since 1908, the matches between these two, the Australians have got such advantage. But this is 2004, and Tony Carroll has put the ball down.
They'll play the scrum, no advantage. Well, that's the way to do it. Make sure that you got the impact underneath the rib cage. Quite often the shoulder can go right underneath the ball carrying arm, and that's exactly what happened on that occasion. That's the mistake that they've been hunting early in the tackle count as well. I've been impressed with the way that Australia have run the angles, though. But to be fair, the Kiwis' defence at times struggling, but they do get back in numbers.
Sonny Bill once again, and the Australians know the danger of this teenager. That's a penalty,
yeah.
It is.
How's that for experience? Well, he doesn't have much, but he knew exactly that he had numbers underneath him. So as soon as he knew that he tried to get up and play the ball, the official would give it. Look at this. Gower couldn't move. He looks at the referee. Thank you very much.
So New Zealand will come again. They've just received their second penalty. They're 20 metres away. Robbie Paul, nice little feint to come inside, went outside and found Francis Melly. Scoots in then at dummy half. Ball comes in field. Here's Asotasi again for New Zealand. And Willie Mason was the man who was first to him. Robbie Paul again. Comes then to Luluai. Here is Webb. Webb then looking for a bit of width, and he finds Vainikolo wide. And Leslie Vainikolo knows his way to the line, as we know in Super League. And Leslie Vainikolo's try in the corner levels the score.
Superb rugby league football at the highest level. The man, the leading try scorer in Super League this year. The Kiwis are going berserk. That was quality.
And it's his 13th try, Steve-O, and this is his 13th international. What a strike rate.
Lucky for some. They'll be hoping so. They are being lifted by that. It all came about by the error. Remember the loose forward, Tony Carroll. It had the ball knocked, and then they swung it out wide. Oh, absolutely sensational. They used the dummy runner, caught them tight. Watch how they've come off. Berrigan just hesitated, and you could see there that Matt Singh, he was left in no man's land. That's how he celebrates, and boy, he's done that a lot this season. What a player. He was out on his feet last week in the grand final. I don't think I've ever seen any player in a grand final bring the ball back as many times. He is all class.
Well, sadly, he needs an operation, as I say, that means he will miss the rest of this tournament after today. He asked the Bradford Bulls if he could play this one match, and they agreed. And the New Zealanders will miss him. No doubt about that for the remainder of this Tri-Nations. Bearing in mind that he's taking the place of Matt Utai. And it's Henry Farfili of the Warrington Wolves who is coming into the squad to replace Leslie Vainikolo. It is quite an act to follow. Well, a slight hold-up in proceedings because the New Zealanders apparently had lost their kicking tee. They've found it now, and Brent Webb will therefore line up this conversion attempt. By the way, as well as this Tri-Nations series that is up and running now, there is underneath this the European Championships, and the England boys are playing in Moscow against Russia tomorrow. We wish them all the very best for that. And the final of the European Nations Cup will be staged at the Warrington's Halliwell Jones Stadium a week on Sunday, and you'll be able to see that match with us live on Sky Sports, as well as this Tri-Nations tournament. The rain continuing to fall here in London. In fact, it gets even heavier at Loftus Road as Brent Webb lines up this conversion attempt. Slippy conditions, it's very difficult for the kickers. But this would give the New Zealanders the lead again if it sails over. 8-all at the moment. Shocking conditions for kickers. Brent Webb misses, but Vainikolo's tries tied the scores up. It's 8 apiece.
And what a try that was. Oh, sensational. The mistake came. You can see, look how two have gone in for the same man. And there is Matt Singh. He's all on his own. The space is created, and we know what the big guy can do.
Well, it was 16-all last Saturday morning in Auckland. It's 8-all here at Loftus Road in London. What a closely fought contest this Tri-Nations is going to be, with Great Britain entering the fray next week to take on the green and gold of Australia.
Just shows you the importance of keeping possession. Tony Carroll got it dislodged, locked it down, scrum was put down, and for one of the very few occasions, the Kiwis in the Australian quarter, and oh, that's a mistake. They've got away with it. There'll be a knock-on to Australia. Surely it's got to be seen by the official, and it has.
No, it's a penalty here. It's a penalty to Australia. Rahihi is judged to have stolen the ball.
Well, he tried to offload it, and I thought before that, I think Hindmarsh got a hand to it, but you're right there. He ripped it in the end, but I think the build-up to that. There it is. Struggling for the ball.
And there is young Thomas Luluai, another 19-year-old.
It augurs well for the future of New Zealand Rugby League.
And of course, when we mention the name of Luluai, Dean Bell, who was up here with us, you know all about his dad. You partnered him many, many times in the centres for New Zealand.
Yeah, one of the greatest centres that the game's ever seen. Just looking at Thomas Luluai, the Australians are targeting him in attack. And that's when Tony Carroll ran into him, but he's got a good defensive game, so he popped that shoulder and then the ball came out. But the Australians just lost their way midway through that first half and just guilty of some turnovers.
Well, this is respect from Australia, because Fitzgibbon will try and kick this goal, and you would put your house on him kicking it. But not on a night like this.
Well, I can see that the rain is pouring down, a little bit of pressure appearing on the face of Wayne Bennett.
Steve-O, should we get the prayer mat out and get the rain dancers ready for next week at the City of Manchester Stadium?
To be fair, Eddie, I think that the Great Britain boys, they don't want it wet. They've got the quality. They want to be able to get some open rugby league football out there. The one thing that will be a great advantage, I feel, if this game is drawn.
Two release. Stand up and play it. Wait, lads.
Australia will come forward again with Fitzgibbon, who's just missed that penalty.
Home, lads. Home, Robbie.
Just 8 metres inside their own half of the field, Australia, which with Gower, who finds Hindmarsh. And Hindmarsh steps out of one challenge, steps out, oh, loses the ball.
It was one-on-one, good refereeing by Russell Smith.
And so Asatazi has it for New Zealand, but he hasn't lost it, it's a penalty here.
There's one-on-one given there, and I think the official got it right.
And then you heard the shrill blow of Mr. Smith's whistle again, and he's given a penalty to New Zealand on halfway.
Yep, one-on-one. No one had joined the fray. It's an important passage of play now for New Zealand. They've got to just keep their control, not try to offload, maybe just force another set of 6. They have the ability, as we saw last week, of scoring short-range tries. 2 of the tries came from dummy half, very low.
Picked up on the half volley by Luluai, and he finds Brent Webb, who finds Anderson. It's Vinnie Anderson. This is an important phase of the match here for these two sides. Can New Zealand get over for another try? It bounced off Sonny Bill Williams and found its way eventually into the arms of Kidwell. Robbie Paul directing the traffic at dummy half, and this now is the runner Rahihi. That's good defence. Managed to stay in the field of play and somehow release the ball anyway.
Since Robbie Paul has come into the fray, he's improved the attacking force of the Kiwis. He's utilising that blind side. A couple of occasions he's done that.
Oh, and here's a chance for Logan Swan.
penalty, and they took full advantage. Beautiful stuff there. What a pass on the inside. And the man who scored it, Vinnie Anderson, he was utilised as the dummy runner to start with. And that's the reason why they caught him out. That's why he put himself into a good position. A lot of dummy runners, and this is what it meant to the coach. He looks happy, and he has every right to be that way. The Kiwi fans, they're ecstatic. But just getting to that point, Eddie, you know, when a dummy runner comes through, quite often they think their job has been done and they stop. Not on that occasion. Vinnie Anderson kept motoring down the middle, and when the inside pass came, scooted over for a very, very good TRY.
Try on the power play then on the last tackle, and Webb has missed another kick. That's 0 from 3 from Brent Webb, but New Zealand have the lead 12 points to 8. And Ian Millwood, is this going to be a turn-up for the books?
Well, weather conditions like this, it's going to influence the game, and for dry weather and better conditions, because when both teams have moved it, they've looked very, very good. Interesting, it's the right-hand side of Australia that's conceded 2 tries. Last week it was the New Zealand right-hand side, even though they've already conceded 1. Look, there's a long way to go on this. Both teams have got so much skill. And there's a drop ball. Australia get a pressure before half-time, maybe a try.
Francis Melly with the blunder. Got it all wrong.
Well, it's very difficult. The floodlights here, Loftus Road, are very, very high. And I think he had a lot of problems. It was a high take. He'd be looking right into those floodlights.
Well, this is a glorious opportunity for Australia, but Craig Gower just losing his footing at the wrong moment. Kidwell completing the tackle. Budiris, and he finds Tony Carroll. Will drive it in again, Will Carroll. And the New Zealanders muscling up in defence and bringing the man who once had the black and white of New Zealand on his back to ground. Didn't like it, Tony Carroll. Budiris to Gower, to Lockyer, and Lockyer with the pass to Minicello.
Great sliding defence there. Working as a good unit now, the Kiwis.
Here's Lockyer. This is the engineer-in-chief. Good ball to Sinavasiva. 5 metres away from the line. 4 tackles gone. Can New Zealand survive this pressure? It comes back to Lockyer again. Here is Tony Carroll. Tries to pop the ball back, and he does. And a great tackle from Vainikolo on Hindmarsh. This is the last one. Budiris, Lockyer's been involved in every tackle in this set of 6. It's with Minicello. Minicello then. Wide it goes to Tonga. Tonga pops the ball back. Minicello is ground into the turf.
That'll be the turnover.
New Zealand survive.
What a tackle by Leslie Vainikolo. The Australians looked for all the world they were going to get there in the corner on the right-hand side. And as I mentioned, the sliding defence on 2 occasions. Just mop up behind. There's the big fella.
Well, can New Zealand survive this 30 seconds and take this 4-point lead with them into the dressing rooms at half-time? What a bonus that would be for them.
Well, they'll be quite happy to just run from dummy half. No point in taking the risk of offloading so close. Remember, we've already seen 1 mistake. They've got the tactics right. And they'll need another one, and that will do it.
Oh, and it's a charge down. Luluai was under pressure. The ball hits the post. And in the end, Anderson, the try saver. He was a try scorer a few moments ago. The half-time siren sounds. And Daniel Anderson makes his way to the dressing room. And Loftus Road rises to the Kiwis. They have matched the Aussies all the way.
New Zealand has started the scoring in this test match, and they finished it 3 tries to 1. Unfortunately, no kicks successful for Brent Webb, but they still lead this game at the break 12 points to 8. I'll be back with Matthew Johns in just a moment to have a look at all the first half action.
On 60 Minutes, the most explosive document in Australia.
There are more than 1,000 names on this list.
A primary school headmaster, a swim coach, even a clergyman. And they think they got away with it. Also, Hazel Hall.
Well, she says no marbles.
A story to touch our hearts.
Oh, Mum.
And the scary truth about Aussie cats and dogs. Toyota presents 60 Minutes, 7:30 tonight.
Where's the home for ladders?
Where's the home for paint?
Where's the home for nails?
Where's the home for race?
Where
Home Hardware.
Where's the home for timber?
Where's the home for screws?
Where's the home to go to?
When you got those hardware blues.
Where?
Home Hardware.
Check out the ultimate multimedia PC offer from Landmark Computers. Like this Intel Pentium 4 3GB 120GB hard drive, Pioneer DVD burner, 17-inch LCD screen and Windows XP Home at an unbelievable $1990. These bargains won't last, so you better be quick. This Toshiba Tecra A2 notebook, powered by Intel Celeron M1.3, 14.1-inch display, DVD CDR-W combo, XP Pro and free carry case, all for only $1,650. Landmark Computers is a quality endorsed company at City, Box Hill, Oakley and Frankston. Go to www.lmc.com.au or 1300 133 165 for details.
Welcome to Franco Cozzo. Franco Cozzo's mean furniture, and furniture's mean Franco Cozzo. If you're the best furniture you want to buy, Franco Cozzo is not far away. In Brunswick and Puttesgrey. Comprate da Franco Cozzo. Grand style, grand style, grand style. Franco Cozzo have the pleasure to present to you the best of traditional Barocco Veneziano. Dining room, sala da pranzo, camera da letto, bedroom suites, salotto, lounge. Come and see Franco Cozzo in Brunswick and Puttesgrey. Comprate da Franco Cozzo. Megalo, megalo, megalo sepulli, Master Franco Cozzo. Crevato camera, salonia, clarecola, apatò Franco Cozzo. E latte, na corasiti, epipla, sto Franco Cozzo in Brunswick e Puttesgrey. Se i migliori mobili volete comprare, oggi, domani e sempre, da Franco Cozzo dovete andare. Dove? A Brunswick e Puttesgrey. Comprate da Franco Cozzo.
Where's the home for ladders?
Where's the home for paint?
Where's the home for nails?
Where's the home for race?
Where?
Home Hardware.
Where's the home for timber?
Where's the home for screws?
Where's the home to go to?
When you got those hardware blues.
Where?
Home Hardware.
Last weekend, 16 all between Australia and New Zealand. For the second week in a row, the New Zealanders really putting it to the more favoured Australian teams. The Kiwis coming into this game, again, underdogs. But after 40 minutes, they lead 12 points to 8. And most importantly, have scored 3 tries to 1. Statistically, they've been quite good. Kicking game been a little bit down for the New Zealanders. I think Daniel Anderson will be disappointed with that part of their game. And there you can see, well, the line breaks favouring New Zealand 3-1. The errors, well, 9 against 4. That would be a concern for Wayne Bennett. He'd also be hoping time in possession to turn around in that second 40 minutes, 52% up against 48. Matty Johns, I've got to say that in recent times you can almost write the script for these kind of games. New Zealand score the first try, Australia storm back, and then the Kiwis find something and come back as well. That's the way the last 3 or 4 test matches have gone.
Yeah, it has a little bit. I think with Australia, when I watch it play, look at the errors, everybody's trying to do a little bit of something for Australia. The front rows are trying to offload, the back rows are trying to pass. They've got to get back to just going forward, playing the ball quick, creating space for Lockyer and Gower. They look frustrated. The Kiwis are laying on us a little bit, and they're getting away with it. Good luck to them. And got a good start to this game once again. That is always so important for this Kiwi side. In fact, in the first 5 minutes, again, Sonny Bill Williams featured very prominently to open up the first try for Brent Webb. Same combination that we almost saw last week score a try. The ball given away there by Jason Riles and Sonny Bill. Last week he'd have put Vunganar in if he'd have been able to control the football. This time Webb was there to score. He's got a great gift, Sonny Bill Williams. He puts the ball under one arm and the defenders think he's just going to take him on. Then at the last second, as they come at him outside in, he throws the flick pass. I think it's been a preordained move. I think they tried it last week, and this week it's paid dividends. A couple of tries last week for Luke Rooney, and Daniel Anderson would have stressed to his players the importance of picking the right decoy runner. He'd have been disappointed that Australia opened their scoring, and it was Luke Rooney scoring his 3rd try in just his 2nd test match.
About 8 metres away from the line. Webke to Gower, to Lockyer. Good hands, great hands. Chance on the inside and they're in. And it's Luke Rooney, who got 2 tries on his debut against New Zealand last week.
Yeah, Pete, we saw this on a couple of occasions last week, and it's worked again this week. You know, when the Aussies settle down, like I said, get forward and put these pre-planned moves on, they look very good. At the moment, too much ad-lib football.
Shane Webke, the first receiver there, a great decoy run by a back rower. As you say, it was a carbon copy of what we saw last week. I love it when an opposition team is able to turn the tables, and New Zealand scoring their second try were able to put on a similar move to that, again down the left-hand side of the field, and Leslie Vainikolo coming into this game after being beaten in the Super League final over there for Bradford, got this team second.
And Willie Mason was the man who was first to him. Robbie Paul again. He comes then to Luluai. Here is Webb. Webb then looking for a bit of width, and he finds Vainikolo wide, and Leslie Vainikolo knows his way to the line, as we know in Super League.
It's almost like the New Zealand camp watched Australia last week and said, that's not bad, we'll use that.
Yeah, and it was a great pass by Vinnie Anderson. Matt Singh read it well. He saw the second man play coming, but he's just a little bit late on the scene. And all of a sudden, he just picks the right pass. He's playing fantastic, Vinnie Anderson.
That made the score 8-all, and as I mentioned before the break, they have got a problem in the goal kicking. If it comes down to goal kicking, Australia will win off the boot of Craig Fitzgibbon. But for New Zealand to win this game, they'll need to score tries. They're doing that very nicely, and the final points of this first half came from Vinnie Anderson.
He's improved the attacking force of the Kiwis. He's utilising that blind side. A couple of occasions he's done that.
Oh, and here's a chance for Logan Swan. He's got a man on the inside. There's score with Anderson. Vinnie Anderson for the New Zealanders.
Nice break here from Logan Swan, but good lead-up work on the inside, and a good option, Matty, running the ball on the last tackle. That's something of a shock tactic.
Yeah, that's a nice tactic. I mean, look, the New Zealanders there having problems with their defence on the right-hand side, but in the back half of that first half, Pete, so are we. The combinations, it's a little sticky at the moment. We're not getting it right.
Just quickly, what will Wayne Bennett be saying to his side 4 points down?
Look, I think he'll be stressing the importance of not panicking, and you don't want to chase points. A big factor is the rain at the moment. You know, it's pouring, it's slippery, tricky conditions. He's just got to settle down. They've got to play field position, put a lot of emphasis on defence.
There's some work to be done. Great 40 minutes coming up. At the moment, 4-point lead to New Zealanders going into that second 40 minutes. 12-8 at the break. They've scored 3 tries to 1. We'll be back in a moment with all the second half action.
Look at her. Isn't she beautiful?
Even paradise has its secrets.
I want my diamonds.
Your diamonds.
Yeah, we stole them together.
8:30 tonight, Channel 9 presents a world premiere event.
You got any idea how big a man-eater can get?
Steve Bisley, Madeline West and Angus Grant.
You disappoint me, Lara.
Somebody tried to kill you. Won't we have to tell the police?
The world premiere of Big Reef, 8:30 tonight on 9.
Where's the home for ladders?
Where's the home for paint?
Where's the home for nails?
Where's the home for race?
Where?
Home Hardware.
Where's the home for timber?
Where's the home for screws?
Where's the home to go to?
When you got those hardware blues.
Where?
Home Hardware.
A bottle of milk, thanks.
Low fat, no fat, full cream, high calcium, high protein soy, light skim, omega-3, high calcium with vitamin D and folate or extra dollop.
I just want milk that tastes like real milk.
This tastes like full cream milk and only 2% fat.
Paul's Smarter White Milk. Smart choice.
Surprise! It's your fashion fairy godmother!
No way!
Mwah, mwah. Take a look at you! We need to get you ready for spring racing. My, oh my, it's Meyer Fabulous. Look at this winning form. Now that's a frock. Sparkalicious. From tracksuit to trackside. Ooh, black, very slimming. We have a winner. Now repeat after me. I'd like to thank my stylist, Carson. Are you ready for spring racing?
Master Meyer.
There are sports
And there are extreme sports, just like there are compact four-wheel drives. And there's the new Nissan X-Trail. Rugged good looks, a brilliant new interior, and the revolutionary all-mode four-wheel drive system. The new X-Trail. Only Nissan takes the compact four-wheel drive to the extreme.
If Melbourne was a magazine, what would it be? It would be elegant. It would be delicious. It would be optimistic. It would be stylish. It would be cosmopolitan. It would be The Age.
Melbourne
Magazine. Every month in The Age.
Where?
Home Hardware.
Australia have lost just 2 of their last 12 test matches against New Zealand. That is in danger of becoming 3. They trail the Kiwis 12-8 at the break. Back to London now with Eddie Hemmings and Mike Stevenson.
Ground rose to greet them after that fantastic first half. It's Australia, though, who get us underway with Lockyer with the deep kick-off underneath the New Zealanders' posts. And it's quite apt, really, that we're here at the home of Queen's Park Rangers, because way back in 1908, Queen's Park Rangers hosted the very first Anglo-Australian test match, but it was at Park Royal in Willesden at the time, and it was Great Britain 22, Australia 22. Well, I wonder whether we will have a repeat in terms of the result here between Australia and New Zealand as we play this second half at the Queen's Park Rangers modern ground at Loftus Road. The Kiwis are in possession, and they want a good start in this second half, and Sonny Bill Williams might, well, he might, but Brentwood can't. He couldn't hang on to the football after the pass, and Australia have the ball back.
Well, that really was a shame, because we saw 2 beautiful offloads by the Kiwis. Amazing in this sort of weather in the first half. New Zealand 13 offloads, make that 15 now against Australia's 6. They are really bossing things in and around the ruck area. It's just amazing that we're seeing this with all this rain just pelting down.
Badeiras gets the pass away, but good defence again over on that far side from New Zealand. And Craig Gower now for Australia turns the ball back inside, finds Sivanasiva.
I think the Australians really have to step up a gear. We haven't seen much drives forward from their forwards.
This is Lockyer. Oh, a little drop of the shoulder. Great start to the second half. Darren Lockyer, just what they wanted, the Australians. A little drop of the shoulder, a little feint to go one way. The door opened, and Lockyer, arguably the world's finest player, he has found the key to the Kiwis' door, and he has given Australia a perfect start to the second half. Just what New Zealand didn't want.
Well, the point I was making, I was expecting more work from the Australian forwards when you've got quality like this out there. Gower back on the inside. You can see they just hesitated. One Kiwi forward had gone right out to the one-section line. And when you come back on the angle like that, you can't afford to do it. And he just made easy meat of it. What a great try.
And Fitzgibbon from bang in front doesn't make mistakes from there. And it seems in the twinkling of an eye at the start of this second half, the Australians have turned the deficit into an advantage. They lead 14-12.
Well, most of the tries have come from mistakes just like that. And watch the way he comes through. And you can see there, Paul Rahihi went out of the one line. He left a huge gap for this fella to come flying through. And that's a problem. And Daniel Anderson will be upset with that, mainly due to the fact that their sliding defence has been so good. They've worked hard in and around the ruck area, but on that occasion they got caught.
Dean Bell, that was not in the Kiwi script.
No, that's the last thing they needed coming out in the second half. But the turnover was just a lack of concentration, really. I mean, the pass was on. They'd offloaded in the previous tackle, and things were going well for them. But just Lockyer, what can you say about him? Any defensive frailties around the ruck here, he'll expose them.
Class act, the best full-back in the world and playing standoff tonight.
Well, that's right. Arguably the best standoff in the world as well.
Number one, without a doubt. Gower with a good kick downfield. It will turn Webb around, but Melly is the man who takes control of the situation for New Zealand and Sivanasiva and Hindmarsh come flying in. Webb gets the pass away. Vainikolo.
That'll have settled the nerves of the Australians, who have been a bit edgy in that dressing room at half-time. No doubt words of wisdom from Wayne Bennett. He's not a man to lose his temper, but I'm sure he would have asked for a little bit more.
Well, they got away with that. New Zealand, Asatazi has the possession for them. And here now is Rahihi. He flicks it then on the inside to Kidwell. And away from dummy half goes the standoff that is Vinnie Anderson. It's the last one, though. And Robbie Paul with the kick just drifts it over the top, and that's a poor kick straight into the arms of Luke Rooney.
Well, that's a fourth kick throughout this game that the Kiwis have put it right down the throat of the Australians. And even in these conditions, you know, you may come up with the error, but why don't they do what they did late in that first half, where they kept it on the ground, where it's slippy? Doesn't matter whether they're going to put the scrum down. At least you're putting the scrum down in their defensive quarter.
Sivanasiva plays the ball to Badiris. Here comes Willie Mason, gets Australia over the halfway line again. 4 tackles gone, though. Here is Gower, and Gower again looked to flick the ball inside, tried to go between two. Rahihi was there to close the gap with Kidwell. Last tackle here, Lockyer, great kick, angled kick. Vainikolo's after this, he'll have to watch it, and does. Great chase by Australia again, led by Tony Carroll and Sean Berrigan.
Not surprisingly, Eddie, Daniel Anderson is bringing off Paul Rahihi. He doesn't look fit, and he knows that he was the culprit that went out of the line. Just lazy play, really. And it's good work from the coach, Anderson.
Ruben Wiki. Hindmarsh gets to him. And Kidwell trying to skid his way inside, and he does, but Sivanasiva took him low down. Last tackle here has to be a kick, and it is from Luluai. Not a good one. As soon as he kicked that, he just dropped his head because Minicello picks it up on the fly. Robbie Paul managed to do enough.
Well, there again, they get 10 cheap meters. And if you let them go, ooh, that looked high. Rooney would have felt that.
He would. It was a bit of a swinging arm from Logan Swan. Here's Willie Mason. They're up to the halfway line here. And they're over halfway with Fitzgibbon.
Much more purpose in the running from the Australian forwards, and they need to be.
Gower now. Showed it to Lockyer. Tried to get the ball away, bounced all over the shot.
Play the first
knock on.
Yeah. Well, they showed in the gap, and he just couldn't offload. Had a fine season there. Didn't touch the ball.
New Zealand head and feet here.
Sonny Bill Williams, yet again involved in it. He just grabbed the ball carrying arm. You're allowed to do that. If you don't touch the ball, then it's classified as a knock-on. And Gower, just getting back to Craig Gower, you know, Wayne Bennett has a lot of influence with selections, of course. But remember Brett Kimmorley last year? He absolutely took Great Britain apart. I always feel that if Kimmorley had not been playing in last year's Test series, that Great Britain would have won. And yet he can't find himself in the starting lineup, neither on the bench.
Well, he's on his way to Cumbria to play in the Anzac team against the Cumbrians in midweek. Is Brett Kimmorley trying to give everybody a run in the squad if he can, Wayne Bennett, for what's to come in this Tri-Nations.
Well, the noise here from the New Zealand fans, they're chanting Kiwis. You'd think you're in Auckland.
Oh, and a fumble, and another fumble. And here comes Tonga for Australia. Flicks the ball back on the inside. Oh, New Zealand get it back. Here's Kidwell. They thought he was going out over the whitewash. The Tonga flicked the ball back in field, and what a gift that was for New Zealand. Wiki now for them.
Well, fair play to the Kiwis. They're still adventurous, aren't they? Trying to keep this ball alive. Scored 3 sensational tries in the first half.
Robbie Paul from dummy half flicks the pass. Sonny Bill Williams. Tackle this time by Tonga and Craig Gower. Brent Webb waits at dummy half. Ball is played to him. Here is Kalis. Offloads again. Webb. Hindmarsh gets to him.
Good tackle yet again by the second rower, Nathan Hindmarsh. He gets through a heck of a lot of work, this fella.
Oh, Ruben Wiki did brilliantly then.
Went backwards, said the official.
And here's Anderson, Vinnie Anderson, good quick end. Oh, Leslie Vainikolo couldn't take the pass in.
He just overrun him, and he knows it. He knows he was in the wrong position. He says, sorry, mate. And he knows what golden opportunity that could have been. Just overstepped it. There's a slip back from Ruben Wiki. Did go back. But you can see there that the big winger should have been at least 2 meters further back, and he knows it. He had to reach for it. They wouldn't have stopped him. There was no one at home.
Come on, Jason, come on. Australia in possession with Ruben Wiki. Manages to offload the ball despite really heavy traffic. Fitzgibbon now.
Hands up for 2.
Ian Millward is on the sideline. Still wet, Ian.
Free release.
Well, we can't just reach Ian Millward at the moment. With all this rain, no wonder. Gower, the ball inside. This is Minicello standing in the tackle, trying to get the ball away, and does, but it goes forward. And so New Zealand have it back again.
Well, there were hands all over the place, and one of them was Robbie Paul.
I think we've blown the rain out of Ian's system. Ian, it's pretty damp down there still, yeah?
Well, it's getting wetter and wetter, but, you know, if you're a card player at the moment, you always like an ace up your sleeve here, and the ace for Australia is Craig Wynn, one of the most talented players in the NRL with speed and evasion. He's come on to replace Badouris, who's created a lot of creativity around the rucks, and there's a great move by Wayne Bennett here now with it wet, and it's going to be really central around the rucks this game now. And also Timmins coming back on, who'll play with tremendous footwork. So at the moment, Australia looking very dominant, especially with Wing coming on. He creates that spark for him.
Dancing little run though, and here come New Zealand with Wiki. He gets it away to Banganar. Banganar finds Francis Melly. Melly is a direct winger. He knows exactly where to try. They need a little push, and New Zealand will accept the penalty. Courtesy of Craig Gower.
Well, I'd be pumping this right into the corner. Half-back Gower came on for a second, went to the legs, and they've gone for a quick tap.
And they've found Brent Webb, and it's opened up slightly for Webb, closed by Lockyer, but he offloads to Luluai. Luluai then to Kalis. And the big prop forward takes it forward, bounces off 2, bounces off 3. Hindmarsh holds him down. New Zealand are just 8 meters away from the line. This is David Kidwell. Underneath the sticks now, the New Zealanders. Robbie Paul went to go one way, came this way, Banganar. Paul, knocked forward, play on, 6 to go. 6 to go, surely. Will they need them? Robbie Paul runs the ball out of play.
Great build-up from that fella, Robbie Paul. He threw as though he was going to the open side, spun around, as you can see, went on the blind. And it just didn't go right for him. Willie Tonga was sucked in. Luke Rooney, he knew that if he couldn't get to that, he was in a lot of trouble. But great work from Willie Tonga.
Yes, good defence. The referee had ruled 6 to go. The advantage, therefore, had gone. He's telling the New Zealanders that's why the Australians have the possession at the scrum. And here is the man that Ian Millward was just talking about, Craig Wing.
He's got tremendous pace. Well, if he says he hasn't heard the call, then it's got to be a penalty.
I call 2, I call the tackle.
He's got to give the penalty. You hear the official quite clear.
Sorry about that.
I know it certainly lost him, and it did every right to Jason Kalis to question it, but the referee had already called, and you could see there that Craig Wing was going to definitely play the ball. That's the reason why Jason Kalis was penalised. 2 balls on the pitch.
And a bit of the stand as well, because when that ball hit the just above the gantry here, a bit of plastic or something, it fell to the ground as well. Webke, it's risky business in this weather, but he's managed to get away with it, Webke, because he flicked the pass away, and Sean Timmins was the first to dive on it. This is Willie Mason.
Well, it's just sheer hard work. That's what's needed. And the composure when it comes to the kicking game. Just keep turning around the opposition. That's what they've got to do. The side that does that most.
Riles just lost his footing.
Just saying, the side that does that most will come up winners.
Penalty. Fiddling around at the play of the ball. Brent Webb.
2-1 again.
Well, they're desperate to try and stop the momentum from the Australians, aren't they?
Well, they're starting to miss a few tackles now, the Kiwis. In a big game, there was a fullback, Brent Webb. Sadly come up with 2 vital errors.
Here's Jason Riles again driving the ball in. This is dangerous now for New Zealand. Australia just ahead. 6 points here would maybe be a big turning point as Webke gets it for Australia. Tries to bounce his way through a couple. Still going, Shane Webke. Just held up short of the line. If there is a line there, it's nearly washed away by the rain. Wing the dummy half. Here comes Sean Timmins up the middle. Timmins. He was on an end-of-season break in Bali when the call came to join this kangaroo party. Wing to Gower. Gower then to Lockyer. Lockyer wide to Minicello. Minicello, brilliant hands to Berrigan. Berrigan then to Lockyer. Lockyer then to Tonga. Willie Tonga. What a try! What a try from Australia! Fantastic handling skills in these dreadful conditions. And Willie Tonga with all the strength to hold off the would-be challengers and just drop the ball over the line. Fantastic Australian play there, and maybe the turning point of this match.
Unbelievable. The rain is pouring down, and you would think it was a sunny afternoon. Look at the precision passing there, back on the inside. Oh, this is superb. Lockyer again, delayed the pass, and the strength of this fella. Willie Tonga. Great work, wasn't it, there from Berrigan? And then once Lockyer got it, look how he just sucked in David Kidwell. The half break was there. And the young centre, Willie Tonga, has made a name for himself. What a build-up and what a try.
Well, we will see this fellow, Willie Tonga, in the Bulldogs, hopefully in the World Club Challenge against Leeds, start of next year. Meanwhile, Lockyer here to try and add the extras, which he does. It's 20 points to 12 Australia here at Loftus Road. And Dean Bell, is that the killer blow for New Zealand?
Let's not give up on the Kiwis at the moment. I mean, they've shown a lot of character already in this series to come back at the Aussies, but just looking at the way their body language is at the moment, the forwards are getting a little bit tired out there, and the Australians, composed as they are, controlling the game in that area.
What would you be saying as the New Zealand captain out there tonight?
Well, I think there's always going to be turnovers in conditions like this. It's where you turn the ball over that's important. And at the moment, the Kiwis are guilty of turning over in the wrong positions of the field.
Well, they need to score next, New Zealand. They really have taken the game to Australia for 56 minutes. But the Aussies now have an 8-point lead.
And the reason why they are in the lead, Eddie, is because it has taken something extra special on both the tries. The Lockyer try and, of course, the finish from Tonga.
Oh, Gower has stepped through the challenges. He's got Willie Mason in support on his inside. Might not need him, but he knows that Luke Rooney is here. And Rooney going for the line on his own. And New Zealand having to muscle up in defence. But a great break from the Australians. 2 tackles remaining. It comes back to Lockyer. Lockyer then a bullet pass, and it's stuck with Minicello. And Minicello takes the tackle. Kalis low down, and Anderson upstairs. Brilliant hands again from Lockyer, but great defence from the New Zealanders as Sean Timmins was looking for the try.
Well, that's confidence from the Australians, but really, he should have offloaded Gower to the big fella. Willie Mason was there. I don't think they'd have stopped him. They got the cover defence where on the right-hand side when Luke Rooney got the football, but I think that could have wrapped it all up. I'm not so sure that Wayne Bennett will be too impressed. He'd be happy that Gower made the dummy and broke, but he really should have given it to the big fella.
Maybe the wrong option, Ian Millwood, taken by the Australians then.
Yeah, but the onward signs there straight away, Eddie, is they're beating them around the rucks. And they're looking very confident there around the rucks. You've got to remind the Australians the way they've bounced back in the second half here. They've actually created some creativity, especially with their experienced people. And look, it's great to have class in any sport when you can back it up with some experience and guile, which is Lockyer has provided here. And their key people, Lockyer and Gower. And we spoke about it before the game against the inexperience of the New Zealanders, especially Lululai. This is where the game's been dominated now, and they're controlling the game very, very well.
And they're stepping out of challenges, which is a little ominous as far as the New Zealanders are concerned. That was a great run there from Minicello. But did you see the take of the kick downfield by Luke Rooney just a couple of moments ago? The ball skidding off the turf, which is absolutely sodden wet, and yet Rooney held it like it was, well, absolutely dry.
Yeah, great hand skills, and I must say, the Kiwis now are beginning to just get a bit frustrated. They're going in a bit high, they're not going for the legs.
Minicello to Lockyer.
They need that composure. They've got to play as a unit in defence.
This is the last one then for Australia, this set of 6, and Sean Timmins waits, and he finds Craig Gower, and Gower will stab the ball in. It's a wonderful kick. It could be a try here for Berrigan. He was ready to chase it, and the referee will hand it on to the video ref. So the first job of the night for Ray Tennant, tonight's video official, who will have to decide whether Sean Berrigan has won the race here, to a precision kick to in goal again.
Beautiful way to kick there from the halfback Craig Gower. We're just going to check, see whether he's onside. Can't really see from that angle. Certainly comes from nowhere, doesn't he? Oh, they were caught napping. It deserved a try. No doubt about the pressure downwards. That's okay. That'll be TRY. Wonderful, wonderful play. Well, we've seen outstanding rugby league skill to put Lockyer in first. Here is confirmation.
The try is given to Berrigan, and Berrigan maybe has buried the Kiwis.
We often talk about applying the pressure and going for the sets of 6, one after the other, and you only get it by doing this. Even if you hadn't come up with a ball, you knew that had been back on the restart on the 20. So it's worth taking the risk. You've got the lead, and you just caught them napping. Great combination.
Shallow in goal area, Steve-O. Doesn't matter when you kick like that.
Superb stuff.
And here is Lockyer to add the extras, which with that trusty left boot of his, he does, the Australian captain. It's a 14-point lead now. Australia 26, New Zealand 12. Sean Berrigan with the try. The former halfback who's made a successful switch to the centres this year. One of the best utility backs in the NRL under Wayne Bennett at Brisbane. And Berrigan with the try. And is that the try that breaks the Kiwis' hearts? They won't give it up, that's for sure, in the final quarter of the match. An hour gone. 14 points the lead. Here is Webke, and as Webke drives it forward, Chris Warren has some injury news from the Aussie camp.
Well, not good news, or I guess it could be good news depending on how you look at it for Wayne Bennett. He's just lost Darren Lockyer. He's just gone up the tunnel right now. I'll find out the exact nature of the injury. It was in the event, the play just leading up to that try, and I guess Wayne Bennett and his coaching staff believe that the margin they've got right now is enough, so why risk their champion duel?
Lockyer off and on his way to the dressing rooms. The exact reason we'll do our best to find out for you as Wing, one of the best interchange players in the business. And what's the decision going to be here from Russell Smith? A knock on against the Australians.
They just need a little bit of luck down there, and he's certainly dropped it under no pressure. Trying to give the impression that Logan Swan was interfering, he wasn't.
Full house inside Loftus Road tonight watching this match. Just under 17,000. It's a great start to the tournament in this country, and hopefully houseful notices will be due at the City of Manchester Stadium next week. And there's a knock-on the first tackle, a mistake by the New Zealanders in the shape of Francis Melly.
Well, this is the sin, isn't it? Good work, though, by Willie Tonga. Notice how he just got the arm over the top of the ball-carrying arm. Just pushed it down there. The Kiwis know they've got to try to force the error, get the possession, but that doesn't help the cause when you spill it in the first tackle.
This is Minicello for Australia, ahead by 14 points. Great Britain, Australia next Saturday, 6 o'clock Sky Sports 1, the City of Manchester Stadium. Looking forward to that. I'm sure that the British players are looking forward to joining the party as well. The Gillette Tri-Nations up and running now. Good hands again from Australia. Tony Carroll, though, the meat in the Kiwi sandwich there.
I made the point, Eddie, in the first half that Kiwis were having to do so much defending for long periods of time. You just had to wonder whether they'd start to run out of gas. And you just get the feeling that the New Zealanders just a little bit slow now.
Wing to Gower, and there's the kick. And Leslie Vainikolo's underneath this. There are two green and gold jerseys after it. Oh, he's dropped it. So close So close for Matt Singh. So close.
Well, he got the height, didn't he? He was nowhere near him when he got...
Well, as the ball came down and it reached Vainikolo, the Australians were on him.
Could have been a great take. Vainikolo just went a little bit early. He was on the downward.
On a dry night, that might well have been another try. Vanganar on the inside finds Sonny Bill, who was looking to offload again as he took the tackle from Timmins. Anderson, Wiki needs something special from the skipper now.
Boy, wouldn't I love to see one of our clubs over there, Eddie, and just break the bank to purchase this guy. He's impressed me, Sonny Bill Williams. He's outstanding.
I don't think you will be able to prize him away somehow from the Canterbury Bulldogs, Steve-O.
Of course, we will have the pleasure of...
yes, the World Club.
World Club next year.
And Leeds Rhinos will be carrying the flag for Great Britain. The Canterbury Bulldogs carrying the flag for the Aussies. Two new teams in that competition. And it's at Ellen Road on February the 4th, by the way, that. There's a little note for your new diary in 2005. Daniel Anderson, the New Zealand coach, he departed the Warriors of New Zealand in June, replaced by Tony Kemp. And Anderson guided them to playoffs in 2001, minor premiership in 2002 and the grand final. They were 80 minutes away from the second grand final last year, but it all unravelled for him, I'm afraid, in 2004. And this match here is just starting to unravel a little bit for the Kiwis now. Poor old Dean Bell has gone a little bit quiet up here on the gantry alongside us.
Yes, a bit like the players out there. Just say, told you before, the body language. And once we had a break there a couple of minutes ago, it took about 3 tackles for the players to get back. So, and when the high kick went up there by Gower, all the players, they knew there was a 20-metre tap coming up, but all the players had their hands on their knees, so they're running out of gas at the moment.
15 minutes of the match remaining as Mason plays the ball. It's Gower again. There's the little angled kick. Oh, and it skips almost dangerously past Leslie Vainikolo. Will try and build the attack from deep. Let's go back to Chris Warren on the side. Chris, some more news of Darren Lockyer, maybe?
Yes, Eddie, worst fears confirmed for the Australians, and it could put a serious damaging blow to their Tri-Nations campaign. The severity of the injury not yet confirmed, but it is a recurrence of the rib injury, which forced him out for so many weeks this year in the NRL.
Well, it would be a tragedy for Australia if Darren Lockyer cannot shape up against Great Britain next week, but he is the best in the world. We've already dubbed him so tonight, and why not? And I wouldn't say it would be great news for Great Britain, but it would not be unwelcome news for the British camp. Oh, great run, lovely spin there by Asatazi. He has support either side of him. Asatazi taking on Minicello. Couldn't get the ball away from the last tackle.
Great work from Matt Singh there, the winger. Made sure he would come a nuisance.
Sonny Bill Williams put the pass down.
Well, we put the mocker on him. Had a great night. It's been a long time since New Zealand have been in this position. Just took his eye off the ball at the very last minute. But Asatosi, what a great break. But look how Wing just put himself in between. Oh, that's play on. The Kiwis have got an opportunity.
They have with Vinnie Anderson. Anderson tries to get away from Tony Carroll. Tackle not completed. Now it will be. And here they come again in the shape of Fatuira. Fatuira will play the ball to the other Anderson. That's Louis. He finds Luluai. And here now is Kalis. It's Nathan Kalis. Well, a try now for New Zealand would be like manna from heaven. And here is Brent Webb. Finds Sonny Bill. The pass is poor.
Nothing's coming out for the youngster now. A little bit of encouragement there. It was a good tackle though. Went low. And 2 golden opportunities virtually squandered. Oh, that's great defence. He's worked hard in that department, Craig Gower. Kicking game, especially midway through the first half, was excellent.
So head and feet at the scrum to Australia.
They've kept calm though of Australia. They do deserve to have that lead. They roll the sleeves up in the forwards, especially this fella, leads by example, Shane Webke.
Yes, he does. 24th cap he's winning tonight, Shane Webke.
They settled it down. They didn't panic. They knew they'd just grind their way into a good position. Well, I must say that Darren Lockyer has really been the architect for Australians to be in the lead. That is going to be a bitter blow if he can't make it. Oh, Gowan's coming with a boo-boo.
Knock on, it's going to be head and feet to the New Zealanders. Ian Millwood, that news about Darren Lockyer could overshadow this entire game, couldn't it? Ian Millwood is floating somewhere over on the far side. Water, we think, in the works. Not Ian Millwood's works, but in the works of our microphones. We'll try and dry things out and get back to him in a minute. This is Brent Webb. Now it's Logan Swan again for New Zealand. The Aussies, of course, they were here just a year ago. They won that Ashes series 3-0. They were here in 2001. They won 2-1. They also won the 95 and 2000 World Cups in this country. They know what it means to win in the UK. Sonny Bill Williams takes a real hit there on the top of his noggin from Petro Civoniceva.
Well, it was a high shot, wasn't it, from Civoniceva? Should have been penalised for it too.
Luluai to Webb. Webb then back on the inside to Logan Swan. Hindmarsh gets to Logan Swan. Civoniceva working hard again. He still manages to offload though. Luluai. Luluai attacking the line. And that's Vanganar. He can't get underneath the three challengers. It's the last tackle here for the Kiwis. Luluai waits, finds Brent Webb. Webb will dab the kick in. Knocks it forward, play on. It wasn't played on at anyway, and Hindmarsh has it back for Australia. Ian Millwood, the water's out of the works, and you're back with us. I was just asking you about the Darren Lockyer injury. What a blow that would be to them.
Well, I think everyone's got their hearts in mouth with the Australian. If you're an England player in Spain, you're thinking, well, hey, listen, this is one of the best players in the world and gives us a great opportunity. For New Zealand, it's too late now because he's caused all the damage here tonight, and I think he's probably very close to man of the match. I've got to endorse what Steve-O said there earlier. Shane Webke and Jason Ryles have really upped the ante here in the second half here. And I've got to take my hat up to Jason Ryles. The minutes he's played here today, he's been quite outstanding. I think this has been a very, very professional performance by the Australians here in the back end. And I know the Haas will take a lot of credit, but those two front rowers have laid the foundation.
Well, what a take on the deck, and they keep the ball moving. This is Luke Rooney. Luke Rooney stabs the ball in, and what a take then by Luluai. Well, we did have a bit of a nutcase on the field, as you probably saw there, and he was being taken away by the stewards. And he has seen the last of this match, I think, and I don't think we've seen the last of him at the minute. But anyway, he's gone.
Thankfully, put him on a train to Brighton.
As Nathan Kalis comes forward again for the New Zealanders. And here's Francis Melly. A little distraction for the crowd. And he was involved in the play there as the ball went up in the air as well, the stewards and the man himself.
The thing is, Eddie, it's dangerous, you know. I mean, someone could come up with an injury, and that's a mistake that they didn't want.
Well, absolutely. We don't encourage it, of course, but I bet you something, Steve-O, that will be on Soccer AM next week on Sky Sports.
That won't be. It's been a case of if in the second half from the Kiwis. Far too many errors and far too many mistakes early in the tackle count. Tony Carroll taking a knock. He's worked hard. They've had to, both sides. He doesn't look too crash hot, does he?
No, he doesn't. This has been a rough and tough match. Lockyer has left the field. We don't know the exact extent of his injury, but it's a worry for the Australians ahead of next week against Great Britain. This could be a worry for them as well. Tony Carroll. Willie Mason is prowling the side, waiting to return.
Well, at 26-12, you don't take the risk. Just let him just settle down slightly and then take him to the sidelines. You see he just got his head in the wrong position. Caught the hip. It's all right if you're going forward.
Well, Lockyer sitting on the side, he knows the job is done perhaps here. And Tony Carroll is back packing down in the scrum.
He's been outstanding. Well, that surprises me.
Get in! Sean, get your head in.
Wants to get his head in.
Head and feet of the scrum to Australia. Sean Timmins comes out the back with it.
Let him up one quickly, Robbie!
Well, Tony Carroll is not really...
Well, he doesn't know what's happening.
He's not really well.
No, and he doesn't want to be taken off.
Hands off,
no player does, but common sense.
Here's Badouris for Australia meanwhile. And Australia now have used all 12 interchanges that they are allowed, so they go with what's left. Craig Gower gets the ball away to wing and it's just hauled down. Badouris again trying to get the ball to Minicello, which he does. Last one here for Australia, so close to the Kiwis line. There's Gower, there's the kick, bounces horribly and is picked up by Sivanasiva, and that could be a try for Petro Sivanasiva. It would be his first try in the green and gold of Australia if it is given.
Well, there's a little bit of pushing and argy-bargy went on there.
He's checking the onside, he's also checking the grounding. Nothing wrong with the onside, there's Sivanasiva behind the play.
Wisps all over, it was a bad ricochet for Webb, the full-back. But on the left-hand side, Anthony Minicello and a couple of the Kiwis. I think he's onside. It'll be TRY. Did everything right. Rolled over.
That'll be a try then.
Sivanasiva, enjoy that one.
It's his third visit to the UK, Petro Sivanasiva. Tours of 2001, 2003. Subbing all 6 of the Ashes games against Great Britain on those last 2 tours. This could be his first try in international football.
And it will be.
And the try is given. Petro Sivanasiva adds his name to the list of try scorers.
Again, the tactics absolutely spot on. Wet conditions. We saw the kick from Gower, which gave Berrigan the try, and another kick has produced it yet again. Okay, got the ricochet. You can see the fullback Brent Webb in no man's land.
And the kicker, Sean Berrigan. Change of kicker for Australia. Lockyer off, of course. Fitzgibbon not out there on the field. But the scoreline now 32 points to 12, and that's 4 tries without reply from Australia in the second half. And looking at the overall context of this tournament, Steve-O, Great Britain have been able to match them in the past. We nearly matched them last year in 3 tests, only until the last 5 minutes. But the second half performance here for Australia is just a little ominous.
Well, it certainly is, mainly due to the fact that they've upped the tempo in the second half, but they have now played over the last fortnight 2 very, very hard games. Great Britain have to go in cold. It won't be easy.
Cold but fresh, Steve-O.
Well, they can do it. Don't worry about that.
And the City of Manchester Stadium is a lot bigger and a lot wider than this, by the way. So I don't think the match will be played necessarily up the middle next Saturday.
Well, I'm sure Brian Noble.
Where have we got the wingers, Steve-O?
Well,
where are our wingers? Where are Great Britain's wingers?
We don't have the speed out wide like the Australians. That you have to agree with. Luke Rooney, Matt Singh.
Kick from Badouris downfield. Attention now will switch, of course, very much so to the City of Manchester Stadium. We have 6 minutes here. Australia have won this match, so they will have 3 points in the Tri-Nations. And Melly, he broke the tackle and he's able to continue on.
Great work from the winger there. They fully deserve not to have a scoreline like this. It's been a great, brave effort by the Kiwis, but you often look at any sport, Eddie. You have the linchpins, you know, the centre half in soccer. You're also looking in rugby league, the 2 half-backs. And you can't get better than the performance from Darren Lockyer and Craig Gower. They have been the architects, and they have ripped New Zealand apart in the second half.
Robbie Paul, Australia having to defend here. New Zealand still looking for the tries. And they've got the restart from underneath the post. They're going to get another set of 6. Daniel Anderson knows that come the final shake-up, points difference could be important in this Tri-Nations. The top 2 in the league table will go on to the final at Ellen Road. And if it comes to level pegging, well, it will come down to points difference.
Well, he won't give in, that's for sure. New Zealand never do that. They'll be trying their best, but Daniel Anderson will be ruining the fact this is their first dropout in the second half, and it just shows you that means that their kicking game has not been good, and their handling has even been worse.
Roy Asatazi on the very first tackle.
And that's a third occasion, Eddie, in this second stanza that the Kiwis have given up the ball.
Well, the Australians are enjoying themselves now.
Well, they call them fanatics. They certainly are if they're dressing up like that.
Well, the New Zealanders will have next week off, of course, and then they will play Great Britain a fortnight's time tonight. And I think they will be happy to regroup after this. But they do have the point from the 16-all draw in Auckland last Saturday. And here is Berrigan again for Australia.
Daniel Anderson, of course, he'll be happy with the first half display. It was exciting, it was wonderful.
By the way, Daniel Anderson will be our guest at the City of Manchester Stadium next Saturday night. The New Zealand coach will join us in the studio to run the rule over Great Britain and Australia. Ian Millwood will be there as well. Suppose we can't keep you away, Steve-O?
I'll try my best to be there, Eddie. I wouldn't miss this tournament, that's for sure. And talking of missing, it's a shame for Daniel Anderson that he will not have Leslie Vainikolo in a fortnight's time.
High kick again, and tester for Vainikolo once more. Took it well, diffused the bomb, and he wants to get going. Well, they want to get it going quickly. Now they can. New Zealand all on side. And here goes Leslie Vainikolo again. 3 minutes to go, and I think I've just heard on the tannoy that Darren Lockyer, the injured Australian skipper, has been announced as the man of the match.
It's no surprise, Eddie.
So he did enough in the time he was on the field to catch everyone's eye. Here's Sonny Bill Williams. I've called him Sonny Boy. I've called him Sonny Bill. I think I'll just call him Sonny from now on. Williams would be nice as well. Here is Vainikolo, but it's
mile forward. Again, Leslie just caught out, being a little bit up front. You could see he was standing in front before the centre could offload. A couple of occasions where he's had the opportunity, but just a little bit too eager. Logan Swan has worked hard.
He has.
Keep 5, Kiwis.
And from the base of the scrum, it's Gower who finds Berrigan. Kiwis having to muscle up in defence. Leslie Vainikolo was there. Here's Mason again.
I think when you sort of look at the wash-up of this game, Eddie, Daniel Anderson, the Kiwi coach, will probably think to himself, you know, it could have been a different ball game if they'd kicked all those 3 conversions in the first half. But it just left Australia with a little bit of light there. As soon as Lockyer scored early in the second half, you just got a feeling that the green and golds were going to run a bit riot.
And this is Riles. What you're saying is when you play Australia, you have to take your chances.
You've got to. You've got to make the points. Get that scoreboard ticking. That's knocked out. That should have been a scrum. And he's got it.
The referee got a call from the touch judge, this near side, I think.
Yep. And that's great to see.
Dean Bell, I think 32-12. It's no disgrace for the Kiwis. It could have been a different story, couldn't it?
No, I think it's an accurate reflection of the match, really. Australia come out in the second half determined. I mean, you've got to look at their defence. Give some credit to their defence. Yes, the New Zealanders have got tired, but the defensive display by Australia has been absolutely awesome. They've been in the faces of the New Zealanders all game. New Zealand guilty. They can't build pressure. Every time they get the ball, they're either turning the ball over in the first tackle or the second or third, and do that against Australia, they'll make you pay.
They will be happy, I think, for the week off next week, and they'll let Australia and Great Britain knock each other to pieces.
Well, that's right. I think this series is going to be the survival of the fittest, really. I think the physios are going to be the most worked people in the game, and I think really losing players like Lockyer would be a huge blow to Australia's chances.
Yes, there will be a lot of furrowed brows in the Australian camp if Darren Lockyer is out of the next match, and maybe the one after that. Great Britain will come back from their warm weather camp in Spain, we hope, all fit and raring to go. The likes of Sean Long, Paul Sculthorpe, Martin Gleeson, of course, Andrew Farrell, all the rest. Here goes Wanganar. The Kiwis, can they just have the last word here? Oh, Wanganar loses it.
Well, as Dean Bell has mentioned, that has been their big problem.
And it was so close to the final word, because there is the final silence.
just lost control of it completely. Is that a big game, though? Both in attack and defence.
Full time in London, and the Australian Kangaroos have taken the first full competition points in this year's Tri-Series tournament. 4 converted tries in the second half. They kept the Kiwis scoreless in that time. 32 points to 12. We'll take a break. I'll be back with Matt Johns in just a moment. We'll look at the highlights, the tries, some individual player performances, and also a quick look at the Australians' next game, that is against Great Britain next Sunday morning.